Hi everyone and welcome to episode 82 of SAMA. SAMA is a program where we invite an expert to talk about their area of expertise. And today we have Echo Lee, and she's going to teach us about fasting. So welcome to the show, Echo.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Now, we've got a presentation ready, don't we? So
Yes.
would you like to go straight into it? Because most people, when they think about fasting, they think about just not eating food. But fasting is not actually about that. Fasting is more about detoxing, isn't it? In cleansing and rejuvenation. Is that right?
Yes, pretty much so.
Okay. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be expert for this episode of SAMA. I will be talking about fasting. In Chinese, it's called Bigu. Bi means avoiding, Gu means whole grains, but here it means all food. So during Bigu or fasting period, we do not take any food. And it's culture of health from 5,000 years of Chinese Taoism. We all know that in China, Buddhism, Taoism, and they are both of them are very popular. But Buddhism comes from India, and after it gets into China, we found that it matches the culture of China so much. So we grew it a lot. But Taoism actually come from China, originates from China. A normal session of Bigu or fasting can be 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, or 49 days. Of course, you can do longer. Some people can actually do longer. If some people have some health problems and they want to get rid of the health problems through Bigu, they at least need to take 7 days. So 7 days is the minimum cycle.
Okay.
For a treatment, for health problem treatment. 3 days, if you do 3 days, it's normally for like losing weight or detoxing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but a full body detoxing also takes at least 7 days.
Right.
Yeah, but if it's 3 days, we call it light fasting. Yeah.
Okay.
In Yellow Emperor's inner canon, it says that eating meat makes you strong and fierce. Eating vegetable makes you sharp and intelligent. Eating qi makes you smart and bright, while eating nothing makes you guarded and immortal. Yellow Emperor's inner canon is also called Huangdi Nanjing. Huangdi was one of the first emperor in China. It was about 4,600 years ago. And this book was the first book for Chinese traditional medicine theory. So a lot of later books were actually that was the foundation of all the other later books, Chinese traditional medicine books. China is very big. There is a south part and the north part of China, and the north part is very cold. John, you've been living in China for almost 4 years, and you know that it's very cold in north part.
That's true.
Yeah, and people in north part of China really like to eat meat. Well, as a result, they are very strong, but they also like to argue a little bit more than people in south part. And people in south part tend to be softer. The Mongolians, they really like to fight, right? That's because they eat.
Historically, they certainly do.
Yeah, that's true. They liked to fight a lot. They ate a lot of meat because they don't have much vegetable available. John, let me ask you a question. What do you think people eat when they do fasting?
Well, I thought they'd eat nothing.
Yeah, I think most people would think the same as you do. They think that, as I said, avoiding whole grains, avoiding all food. But actually, during fasting period, we do eat something. What do we eat? Well, we eat qi. And today I will also tell our audience, show our audience how to absorb qi during fasting period. So what is qi? Qi is the energy which the human body needs. And what is energy? John, what is energy?
I didn't know you were going to ask these questions of me, but
Sorry.
okay, I'll do my
But
best.
I don't think it's a problem for you because you are, professional.
Semi-professional. Well, energy is energy. I would define as power, being given the power to do something, having the ability, that's like a fuel. I'd describe it as a fuel. How's that?
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what
You should have warned me beforehand. I would have thought of something better, but I think fuel is good.
Yeah, it's what you said is very true. Everything has energy, and energy is the foundation of the universe. Energy cannot be created, nor will it disappear. It can only convert from one form to another, or from one object to another. For example, take corn. For example, the corn get energy from the sun and the earth, and human beings eat the corn, and it will be converted to movement, heat, and some other chemical reactions, and the energy that is not converted will be excreted, and the excretion will energy which is not and the excretion turns to earth, so the cycle continues.
Right. Oh, okay. So the energy is conserved, but it goes through cycles.
Yes.
Okay.
So why am I talking energy here? Because the difference between fasting and not eating is energy supply.
Okay.
One has energy supply and the other does not have energy supply. For people who simply do not eat, a lot of people try to lose weight by not eating. They don't do any other. They don't absorb qi. They don't eat the qi.
Right. But how can you eat qi?
I'll tell you later on.
Okay.
When people do not eat for a long time, their body converts fat to energy for sustaining life. And when the fat of the internal organs are consumed, ketone bodies are produced.
Okay.
If this happens, people feel very weak in their limbs and very uncomfortable for the first 3 days. And you would know that some people who are on a diet for losing weight, and they don't have any. We say they don't have any energy.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They start feeling very low energy.
Yeah, that's actually because of the ketone bodies produced. And if this lasts for too long, like 7 days, too many ketone bodies will form, and the starving becomes life-threatening.
God, that's quite scary.
Yes, and even if later on some people would find it hard to get back to eat.
Right.
And that's called anorexia. Right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people got anorexia because of that reason.
Wow.
And they would get very, very thin, and it becomes diseases.
Gosh.
Yeah. And we just mentioned that if people simply do not eat, there is no energy supply.
That's right.
But fasting has an energy supply, and this energy supply is different from, it is a different source than food.
Okay.
Science has confirmed that grains and meat we digest are absorbed and processed to provide three major energies in the body.
Right.
They are protein, carbohydrates, and fat. These three turn into qi and blood. The blood runs through our blood vessel and the qi through the meridians. I know this is all like Chinese, but people would say that they can't see meridians, but they do exist. A lot of, I think meridians has already been confirmed by Western, by science, right?
Well, sure. Acupuncture is quite an established method of treatment, and that uses the meridians. You put the needles during at the main meridian points.
Yeah, the qi in the meridians helps push the blood to flow in the so the body can function normally.
Okay.
And these three major energies can be produced in the body during fasting period. For the fat, scientific studies have confirmed that the liver in our body can automatically synthesize fat. And for carbohydrates, the molecules of carbohydrates are CHO, that is a carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and all of which can be found in the air. In protein, there is one thing called nitrogen fixing bacteria in our stomach. This nitrogen fixing bacteria use nitrogen in the air to produce amino acids and proteins. And as we know, 78% of the air is nitrogen. So as long as we can retrieve this nitrogen into the stomach through our consciousness, protein can be produced.
That sounds quite intriguing. So are you telling me that you can survive off air?
At least I survived the 7 days.
That 7-day fast was quite remarkable, because now Eco normally gets hungry
very easily, fast.
an hour after a meal.
Because my tummy is very small, so I don't eat very much. I get hungry very easily.
So you went through 7 days.
Yes. And I didn't say I was hungry at all, did I?
No, you didn't say you're hungry.
That's right. So I didn't even feel hungry.
So you're doing something. That's
right.
Let's to find out what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I just said means that proteins, carbohydrates, and fat can be created within the body during fasting period, as long as we do the right thing.
Okay.
And I will explain in details how to do the right thing, how to get this energy.
Okay.
Rather, not from food, from something else.
Okay.
Okay, what are the benefits of fasting and why we want to do fasting? Well, the first is losing weight. That's actually how most of people get to know about fasting, because they want to lose weight. Some people have weight issues. And I'm actually in a group of 100 people who do regular fasting each month for 7 days. And very often I see they say in the group that they have lost 4 to 5 kilograms after 7 days fasting.
Wow.
Although after the fasting is finished, they may get back 1 or 2 kilograms, but still at least 2 to 3 kilograms is lost.
Okay.
And they don't starve themselves. They don't feel hungry. So that is actually a very, very good way for them to lose weight and also very healthy. The next one is a full body detoxing. John, I'll ask you a question. Well, here's a cup.
Well, thank you.
No, that's from me. Oh, but if you want to...
I did one a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm a little bit thirsty now. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
If this cup I'll give you 1 cup.
Okay.
And you will use it to drink milk, coffee, tea, and eat Chinese food, Italian food, Indian food, Thailand food. Wow, you're well treated every day. And you can't eat it or you can't wash it.
Okay.
So how long do you think you can keep doing this?
Not very long.
Yeah, how long?
If I have the food in here, or
Yeah. Yes, you eat or drink everything using this same cup.
well, I can use the same cup forever, but I'd have to without washing it.
That's right. You can't wash it.
Well, just one if I put food in this cup, then I can't put water in there.
Yeah, you have to. You can finish the food first, and then you use it to drink water, but you can't wash it.
Well, that's okay. I can tolerate that, so I could use it forever. Because
That's terrible.
Yeah, well, it's a guy thing. I didn't expect you to understand that.
Seriously, so there will be oil in this cup, and some, really, you can't do that.
Well, if I had to, I would. And if it was a nice, if it was a lovely Indian curry, I could probably do that. Or a curry flavored water, but. I guess if you fill it up with water, it wouldn't be so nice, would it? It wouldn't be so good.
I guess I'm asking the wrong guy. Well, we are doing the same thing to our body, to our tummy, our intestines every day for whole life, and we never wash it.
Oh, that's quite profound. That's I get it.
Yeah, think about it. We put everything into our stomach, into the intestines, and we never wash it.
Oh, that's true.
But it's okay for you because you can keep doing it. You are okay with that.
Well, I was just thinking like in an emergency, and
no, it's not emergency. You have to use it every day.
I wouldn't want to, only if I had to. But if I had a choice, the water would taste awful, taste yucky, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. As you said, if you have a choice, doing fasting is a simple, easy way of cleaning your body, cleaning your intestines, your stomach, which you have used for almost the whole life and never washed it.
Actually, that's true, because for a whole lifetime, your stomach's never been emptied, or your intestines have never been emptied. They've always got some peristalsis taking place with food going through and being processed.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I get it. I finally get it.
Okay. Yeah, that's very good for detoxing. Some people may have a problem with dancing every day. You can explain what is dancing.
Dancing is passing motions.
Yes.
They have trouble passing motions. Why is that?
Well, maybe there are many ways, many reasons for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and some maybe because the digestion is not very good, and some maybe it's not a direct pass. It's not how do you say?
Yes, it's curved. Yeah.
It's curved, and and also because it's curved, it's very hard to wash it, and a lot of leftovers are.
Okay, true.
For a really long time.
Yeah, great. No, I don't want to think about it.
Oh, you're okay with your cup?
I was okay with the cup, but now we're going a little bit further down, and yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is with your intestine, it's true. When you think your intestine's curved like this, with all these, racetrack curves, there's going to be lumps of stuff which doesn't move because it's caught on the edge.
Yes.
So you're saying that fasting cleanses that? Gets it going.
Yes.
Wow.
And it can also help some people with hypertension, diabetes, or some other health issues. It's actually not treating these diseases. It's helping by destroying the terrain.
Right. So the disease no longer is in terrain that suits it.
Yes, but for people with these problems, it requires at least 28 days of fasting, or you can break it into 4 times of 7 days of fasting, like 4 months, once each month.
Okay.
Yeah. And well, in worst case, you can survive in extreme conditions such as the earthquake, or
Yes.
something you mentioned before. You said that NASA just said they found that meteor or a star would hit the Earth.
Well, I don't want to frighten everyone, but we're all going to die in 2024. Now, we hear quite often these people saying the end of the Earth is nigh, but there is going to be a greater than 90% chance from NASA, who are a very highly respected space agency. They say in the year, I think it's 2024 or 2026, around that time, there's going to be a big lump of rock about 2 kilometers across strike the Earth, an extremely high chance. So sell your beachfront properties and camp up high, or dig somewhere down, dig a bunker underneath your house.
Well, which area would?
Oh, they say it's Asia, most Beijing.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
we should
Japan,
buy. We should buy 2 tickets
to the opposite side of the world from there.
Yeah.
But it's not scarebunkering. It's from NASA. It actually is from science. But they're sending up space capsules to try and divert it. But if that does happen, you may find yourself in a situation where there's no supply of food or fresh food.
Yeah, and under that conditions, you will find that fasting will help you. You don't even have to eat any food. You can survive. I mean, people have done more than 49 days. People like me who have. But our teachers have done much longer than that. So
gosh, it's incredible. So you've got a few years to learn about fasting, but it's certainly a powerful skill to have if you don't want to go the way of the dinosaurs, I guess.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, the dinosaurs didn't learn about fasting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, steps of fasting. So there are 3 steps. Well, you can do only 2 steps if you don't want to practice some special exercises. That is not necessary, but it will be very good for you. The 3 steps are programming, absorbing qi, and practicing some special exercises. Programming. We all know that, well, a lot of our audiences are also Spooky 2 users, and many of you may have heard of imprinting frequencies into water. Programming is something like this. You know that when we were born, about 80 or 85% of us is actually water.
Right.
And then when we get older, we lose some water. Now I am probably 70%, and you are only 60%.
Yeah, and I'm 40% rock or concrete.
Well, this programming is actually imprinting the frequencies into the water in ourselves, or it doesn't have to be water, because everything can be imprinted with frequencies, right?
Right.
So it's using our consciousness. A very important thing is you have to program it the night before. Like if you want to start the fasting from tomorrow and take 7 days, for example, the night before, you would lie down in bed and repeat the following phrase: I am ready to do fasting for 7 days, commencing tomorrow, and I will be very energetic, just as normal. And think this phrase in your mind for 49 times. Yes?
Oh, sorry, I was going to wait for you to finish. I just was breathing. inhaling really to ask my question, but you okay. Well, why is it 49 times?
You know, 7. I'm not sure whether it's only in China or in Buddhism. 7 is actually a magical number. As we said before, it has to be the times of the 7, like the cycle for fasting or for treatment.
Well, a week is 7 days.
Yeah.
Menstrual cycle is 20. Oh, it's not 1. It's not a multiple of 7. Okay. Bad.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. 7 is a magical number. 7 times 7 is 49.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a very good, actually a very good question. And that's when you say 49 times, it's actually this number has some energy, has some
Right. There's a few cycles that for a 7, like a menstrual cycle is a 7 times multiple at 28 days. So that does work out. So it wasn't such a bad thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So make sure it's 49 times before going to bed at night. Well, it doesn't have to be going to bed, but if you do it before going to bed, it's like during your dreams, you will even think about it. So it's very powerful. Imprinting. Yeah. Program is very easy. Fasting is actually very easy, not as hard as we think. Well, most people would think that, not eating for 7 days, it would be very hard. No, don't think this way. You are actually eating, okay? It's just a different source, different food. Think it as a different food.
You're eating the air and the energy around us.
Yes, you're eating the qi.
Qi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the second step is absorbing qi. That's the most important step. We have to understand that we are surrounded by qi, and the qi is also in us. The qi surrounding us will be consumed by our body. So when we understand this, we will make use of the qi. There are 3 methods of absorbing qi, and the power of consciousness plays a huge role in this. The 3 methods, the first method is absorbing qi by imagining a fireball. We need to do it every morning, noon time, and evening time. That's actually the normal food time, the time we have our food. And the second way is absorbing qi when drinking water. So anytime when you drink water, you can do it. Or the third time is absorbing qi by imagining delicious food. If you feel like eating some food when some other people are, having lunch close to you, besides you, then you can do the third way.
I don't know what happened to the fireball in the previous picture. Okay.
Okay, I'll show how to do the first way, how to imagine the fireball. The first step is find out where your stomach is. So how many people do not know where your stomach is? Do you know that?
It sticks out, so it's hard to miss.
There's an easy way. Here's your hand, right?
Yes.
You can feel where's your last rib, right?
Yes.
And then put this part below the last rib.
You have to show that on the camera, perhaps.
Oh, how to do that?
No, just show your hand. So you put, this is your hand, and you put that part on the top, on the end of your ribs. Is that right?
Yes, and this side reaching to the tummy button.
Okay.
Yeah, so this part will be your tummy, your stomach.
Got it.
It's very easy to find your stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, because you need to find out where your stomach is to imagine this fireball in your stomach.
Right.
That's why it's important.
Okay.
Okay. So the first step is find out where it is. And the second step, take a deep breath into your stomach. And when you do that, you would find that your stomach would be, how to say,
Extend it outwards or
Yeah,
compress?
extend it out.
Okay.
Extend it out. And then hold your breath.
Yes.
Yeah. The third step is imagine that there is a fireball in your stomach that carries all the energy needed. And imagine this fireball glowing and replenishing energy to the stomach doing this. Look at the fireball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah, just to feel the heat in your stomach and also feel that your stomach is getting full
Now,
with this energy.
when you inhale, it's your lungs that are expanding out, but your stomach may be pushed downwards.
No. You haven't tried this before, right?
Okay, that's right. I
Yeah,
have.
but actually, people who are doing yoga and similar exercise all know that when you inhale into your stomach, and your stomach will be extended out, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's when you practice that. Did you try it?
Yes, but your stomach itself, as in the little bag that's inside your abdomen, or is
Yeah.
it your whole abdomen that sticks out? As you breathe,
Yeah.
your abdomen extends out,
Yeah.
but your stomach itself will be compressed down. The stomach organ, because it's your lungs that are opening up with the air.
Oh, okay. So it's your abdomen
Okay.
out, becoming extending out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
No, I just saw I could understand.
Okay. Thanks for clearing.
Okay.
And just to feel that heat and the fullness in your stomach. When you can't hold your breath anymore, breathe out slowly from your noses. Never open your mouth during the qi absorbing period. So in this case, the energy is now stored in your stomach.
Okay. Wow.
Do you know how to do it now?
Yes.
It's very easy. Find out your stomach.
Yes.
Yeah, and take a deep breath into your stomach.
And focus in my mind
Yes.
that there's a fireball inside the location where the palm of my hand was, where the stomach is.
Yes, and it's
giving
glowing and heating and giving energy to the stomach.
And so it's like using the power of my mind to transfer the chi in the environment on the outside, which I've inhaled, to go into my stomach.
Yeah, don't think that it's imagined. It's just the imagination.
Okay.
It is, everything is actually true, because when you do that, you would feel that your tummy is getting hot.
Okay.
Very warm and then hot and very full, and you don't feel hungry at all for a whole day. Because I did that. I know it. I know it's true.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the method of reimagining a fireball. It's very, very easy. You have to do it 3 times a day during your normal food time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's some tips is this is best to be done in bed, especially for beginners, because you have to, that when you focus, that's when it's most powerful.
Okay.
Like when we do meditation, it's right. So when we lie down in bed, we're not doing anything else. Then it's we're focusing only on that precise. Then it will be very powerful.
Okay.
Yeah, our consciousness will be able to retrieve what is needed into our stomach for those reactions.
Okay.
That, like what we said before, to produce those energies, to get those energies, those 3 main energies.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the 3, the protein, fat, and carbohydrates.
Yeah, and again, repeat this whole process 49 times, or simply set a timer for half an hour, because each time would last less than 1 minute, and you may lose count, and set alarm would be much easier. Well, here I said the recommended time is 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. In the morning, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at noon, and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening, but it's all are adjustable.
Okay.
So you can adjust the time according to your convenience, right?
Sure.
At your convenience.
So if you wake up first thing in the morning at 10 o'clock, you can do the first one. And then,
Yes.
well, some people,
Yes. Yeah.
everyone's different.
Yeah. And one more thing, because I said here that for the first 3 time periods, well, actually, that's what I mean is if for the first 3 times, every you can take some apples, and also take some honey water or salt water. Each time lasts for 3 days, right? So that's actually, if you do it once a month, it's actually for the first 3 months you can take apple or honey water or salt water. Why is that? Because we actually do not, it's not needed, but it's good to do that, because at the very beginning we cannot tell what is our body really needs, or whether we want to eat something, we thought it's our body need it, but actually it's our desire. So eating an apple will help our body know that we're eating something.
Yes.
We're not, so it's giving this information to the body,
yes.
telling your body that we've already eaten something.
Yes,
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, but after the first 3 times, you will not need to have any apple or honey water, salt water. The first time when I did the fasting, I did not feel hungry at all, but I still forced myself to eat apple, because I still ate apple. You know that, right?
Sure.
Because I want my body to know that, because sometimes you may have some desire. That's not the real needs, but you may want to do something about it.
Right.
Yeah, I was not hungry at all.
It's quite surprising. And 7 days is a long time.
The second way of absorbing qi is by drinking water. We just mentioned that we can imprint frequencies into water. We can also imprint this information into the water. So each fasting period, you only have to do this once, do the programming once. You think in your mind that all the energy and nutrients needed by my body are in the water. Just to think that once. Do it once, and it will last for 7 days if you do fasting for 7 days. After programming, every time when we drink water, we can absorb qi, and it's very similar to the first way. We take a deep breath into the stomach, and in this case, the abdomen would be extending out, right?
Yes, yeah.
And hold our breath and drink the water.
You're watching this live, everybody.
Okay, when I can't hold it anymore, I can breathe out, but through my noses, not through my mouth. Do not breathe from your mouth during qi absorbing time. And you can also do that when you drink salty water or honey water, and you would feel very, very full after a glass of water. The third way is absorbing qi by imagining eating delicious food. Think about it, Jay. We have a friend, or we are doing fasting now, and we have a friend who really wants to invite us for dinner tonight.
It's difficult.
So what do we do?
We can't offend the friend by saying we can't eat, can we?
So we are still going, right?
Yes.
But we will tell our friend, you can eat yours, and we'll eat ours. Okay. Our friend is now eating the delicious food,
Mm.
and we are sitting at the other side of the bed looking at the food. Well, what we can do is, when we look at the delicious food, we swallow the sense of the food while inhaling. Like that is a food.
But doesn't it make it harder because
Why?
You've got this person.
Let's have a close friend.
Yes, our close friend. Just because he's our friend doesn't mean he does everything good. He's just a little distance away from us, eating food while we've got our mouths watering and dribbling and
No, I won't do that. I didn't feel.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I was totally okay. You were eating your food, and I was totally okay.
That's true. Because when Eka was doing her fasting, I was eating my food normally, and she'd be watching me, and I'd be feeling sorry for her, and she didn't seem to mind. And so
no.
So
one thing I didn't mind is that I feel that you were sorry.
Oh, I was. I felt bad because I was feeling that you're very hungry and that it was...
No, you didn't. You really didn't have to.
Okay.
You really didn't have to, because
Okay.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel hungry at all, and I didn't even, have the desire. Sometimes, most of the time, I didn't even have the desire to eat anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So, same thing. After you swallow the sense. You breathe in, right? And then you swallow the sense while breathing in, and then hold your breath for a moment, imagining the energy of the food is now in your tummy. So our friend is taking the material food, and we are taking the essence of the food.
I'd rather have the other way around. I'd rather be having the food. My friend can get the smell, and get the aroma from the food.
Okay, but after holding your breath for a short while, then exhale. And the chi absorbing processes is done.
Okay. Do you have to imagine the fireball?
No. These three are actually very similar. And the similar part is breathing in and hold your breath until you can't hold it anymore. Breathe out through your noses. That's the similar part. The different part is what we imagine, or what we drink, what we eat. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually very easy.
It is easy.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult.
Nah. Try it. I really suggest you to try it, because it's very hard to, explain.
Oh, sure. Well, before the big meteor arrives, I'm definitely going to be an expert on it.
Okay. Okay. Some support, except for programming and the chi absorbing, you can actually do some exercises to support your fasting. We did I did 3 different kinds of exercise. I said we because I forced John to do it together with me. Okay, so I think this part you can explain.
Yeah, I can explain now. The first one was belly massaging of your stomach. Now this one I could understand fully, because it's a way of forcing the particles in your intestine to free themselves, and it become dislodged, if you like, and continue to where they end up. And so what belly massaging is 3 steps. The first step is for 300 times rubbing your stomach from the top to the bottom and then back up to the top again, just reciprocating that motion. And you do it quite vigorously for 300 times, and then after that, for 150 times, you put a hand or 2 hands, but it's easier for me for 1 hand, and you just rotate it clockwise on your stomach, and you push down a little bit, to get some sort of movement of, again, particles in your large and small intestines. Now, after you've done 150 clockwise motions, you go to your left hand and you go anti-clockwise, again for 150 times. And when you think it's all over, there's one more step, and that's where you go again up and down, but you do it in a different way. It's almost like a shaking motion. And you,
Hey, you can show.
I can, but I won't because I'm shy. But it's not pretty either. But you for 300 times you shake you shake your hand up and down your stomach like this one here.
Vibrating.
Yeah, vibrating on your stomach very vigorously. And you know when you do it right because your movements become very easy. And that's really getting things moving effectively through your body. So that's the process of doing the belly massaging. Now, the body shaking part, now I can answer this one too, because this was a fun activity. Now, there's a music track that we played, wasn't it?
Yes, there's a music.
And it starts slowly. And the idea is you stand up and you loosen your body and you get your limbs shaking. You sort of go into like a stepping motion with your feet, but you don't move your feet. You just it's like jumping up and down without your feet leaving the ground. That type of action, and the music goes from slow to very, very fast and very vigorous. And you can feel, well, I can feel the blood flowing quite, flowing through my veins at a great rate of knots. And if I'm not imagining it, I can feel like an energy flowing better through my body.
Yes.
And is that the idea behind the body shaking?
It's one of the idea. I just say that belly massage is for you to get some good stuff, good energy from the universe, right? And body shaking is actually to shake off some bad stuff out of your body.
And the final thing.
Yes, meditation. And because most people know about meditation, they have already done meditation. The reason behind that is meditation helps us be aware inside.
Okay.
Knowing that, the desire is different from the real need of the body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason behind.
So it's like bringing us closer to our body?
Yes.
Okay.
Feeding our body.
Right.
Yes.
Well, when you're in a meditative state, you're fully relaxed. You don't think of anything. You're basically, really, you become a politician, don't you?
What?
Well, no, I'm sure so. I'm sure some are good. But okay, but you certainly do become more or extremely relaxed, and you feel more aware, I guess, of your body.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Some notes. People with any health condition should consult a registered medical professional before fasting. And the following are suggestions only and should not be regarded as professional advice. People who have diabetes may not need hypoglycemic drugs or insulin during the fast. In fact, these drugs may cause harm. People with hypertension should check their blood pressure and take their medication if they experience dizziness, headache, nausea, and vomiting, etc. People with hypotension should take chocolate or glucose powder if they experience muscle weakness, dizziness, and sweating, etc. Patients with heart diseases should take 15 速效救心 pills. That's one that's one Chinese traditional medicine, and we use that for heart diseases. I actually carry it in my bag now. I carry it in my bag not because I need it. It's because I know that if I ever meet someone in the street or anywhere who has heart problem, and that can save them.
Wow.
So I'll show you. I have been carrying this.
You can't really see it.
No, I don't think. Oh, here are the pills. These are the pills. Can people see it?
Not
It's,
really.
it's
Maybe
actually it's
maybe
actually
if we
very.
block, if we block the
Oh yeah,
pills
good.
there.
Yeah. These are the 速效救心 pills. It says fast, fast save your heart. When it's translated into English, it means save your heart fast.
Right.
And this we will we will put the pills on the tongue.
Yes.
And it will get into the blood immediately.
Are they a drug?
No, it's not a drug.
Not
It's
a
a Chinese
drug.
traditional medicine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very. So I have been carrying this with me for a long time in case anyone needs it or in case anything happens.
Wow.
Yeah. Or people who take hormone drugs regularly should continue their medication during fasting. Actually, I haven't told you about this.
No, it's
I
a
never
surprise.
told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and also I will tell you how to use this.
It'll be good.
I have been carrying this with me.
What's that?
Oh, that's it's actually a needle.
Oh my god! No, don't open it up.
Oh, okay.
It's a little.
When something suddenly happens, this can also save a life.
How?
But I can. Yeah.
So you open this up and jab them.
Yes.
And it's got medicine in there already.
No, it's not. But into the right meridian.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can share with our audience next time in Spooky Tea Coffee time.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. It is important to commence eating gradually after fasting, so our bodies adapt to food again. And for the first 3 meals after fasting, only liquid food is allowed. There must be no salt or no oils. This is very important. Otherwise, because our tummy has been, how do you say?
Flushed out?
No,
emptied and not used to food again?
Yeah, for a long time. And suddenly when you give it something, it will, freak out. So no salt, no oils for the first 3 meals.
Okay.
And only liquid food is allowed. This is very important.
Okay.
And for the first 3 days after fasting, the previous one was 3 meals, but now it's 3 days. You can't eat cold food, raw food, or spicy food. That will be not so good to the stomach.
Okay.
And eat only about 60 to 70% full, not 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it will give a lot of pressure to your stomach.
Okay.
On the 4th day, you can commence your regular diet.
Of chips.
Huh?
That's
not
really
the regular diet.
No, but I wish it was. Chips are good. Well, it's basically just potatoes, which is
no, but it's fried. Fried is not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless it's coconut oil, I guess.
Still. Really, when the coconut oil arrives to a very high.
Coconut oil. If anyone does cooking, even frying with coconut oil, it's one of the oils. It's like sesame oil, which has got a very high temperature stability, and so you can take coconut oil to a very high temperature and not change its chemical composition. And so, and also coconut oil is one of the nicest tasting oils. So you get, it's a win-win situation. So if you want to do any frying, if you have to do frying, use coconut oil and you're not doing your body a disservice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but we use coconut oil for our cooking and also sesame oil for the flavor.
I know that, but I didn't know that it's still okay when it's...
Yes.
Okay.
Well, a lot of oils are healthy at lower temperatures, like olive oil, but you can't use olive oil for frying because it becomes unhealthy once it goes above a certain temperature.
Yes, that's why olive oil is only normally for salad.
Correct, where it's cold.
Yeah.
So, coconut oil. It's one of those magical oils.
Okay.
And that's it. Wow, that was really amazing. Hey, thanks for sharing that information with us.
Yeah, I really would recommend our audience to try because it's easy. When you maybe when you try more than 3 times, you would get addicted to it, because the feeling that you don't need food anymore is really good. Being able to eat what you like, what you want is one thing, but being able to not eat is another thing. That's the ability of control. I mean, how to say it?
It's almost like empowering yourself to control
Yes.
your body and control your urges, I guess.
Yes,
Like you showed remarkable willpower
that's
to
true.
last 7 days, but yet you didn't seem to be adversely affected by it. You did lose a bit of weight, which
I gained more weight after because it's not just about losing weight, it's about balancing. I used to be very thin. I was only 46 kilograms before, but now I'm almost 50. So it's a good thing. But I'm not just doing fasting, I'm also doing something else to help getting balance. I think all of our audience, I mean, if you are interested, you can try, and you would find that it's very good for your health, because what I found is after 7 days of fasting, my skin is smoother than before, and I feel that my body is lighter, although I gained some weight.
well, you feel more energetic, don't you?
Yes.
But you said another thing too. You also said that you don't feel the cold so much.
Oh, that's right. But that's again, I'm doing many other things, many other practices. I'm doing meditation. I'm doing
Yes.
embryonic breathing,
Yes.
and I did the fasting, and I think that all these things help me gain balance, and also I get much more energetic. So it doesn't take much time every day. I do recommend our audience to start trying at least 1 or 2 things first and see how it helps you. You may find that it doesn't it doesn't work so well at the very beginning, because our body is trying to adapt, and there have been too much toxins in our body, and it needs some time, it takes some time, but as long as you can continue doing it, you will find that it helps you a lot.
Great. Well, thanks very much for coming on this program. It's been fantastic having you on.
It's my honor to be here.
It's the first time we've had we've been so fortunate to have Eka Lee on the summer program series. So wow, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
I feel very privileged. So everybody, we'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.